What is going on, everyone? It is another video of Devin's Garage with me, Devin, and special guest once again. We got Anthony right here. There he is.
Powerade.
Yes, Powerade. Great Powerade to be exact. We are working on his 2025,
yes,
2019 Civic Si once more. You guys remember this car? It was the one that was stock when we were comparing it to the one that was non-stock, and now this one's not stock anymore. It's got all the 271 parts on it, and now it's getting another 271 part on it. What may that part be? It's over there in the box, actually. I'm gonna show you guys right now what we're replacing, and then of course we're gonna walk you through that. So let's dive right onto this box and see what we're doing today. Here we are. So we got that 271. What could this be? So this here, it's an intake horn. Yeah, it's actually an inlet valve, so not that fancy. Oh, you got the bigger boot. Little boot. Rings. Some newts and bolts. We don't need these, you can throw this away. No, I'm just kidding, definitely don't do that. You definitely want to have a nice seal. Is that shrink tubing? That looks like shrink tubing.
It is.
Wow, nice, heat shrink. They actually gave you like an actual plastic adapter this time, which is
that
what we should have gotten for the thing that we needed that last time.
I'm getting some kind of like overboost issue.
I think he's gonna overboost insanely with doing this now, but that's okay, because that's what we're here for. We like to blow our cars up. So, where is it?
No,
wait. No, not quite.
It's not.
We already changed that. This! Yeah, can you believe it? We're changing this. This plastic, itty bitty, tiny little pipey pipe there is gonna get beefed up. And we're gonna have a new little hose there. I mean, look at this, guys. We have to literally throw, right now it's looking like this, but we're gonna throw that like, we're gonna be throwing this like this into a big old boot here, and then we're still on a stock turbo because dude over here
and I just bought a dirt bike, so I'm
he's trying to make double projects on himself. So we're gonna do that. Gotta change out all these little connectors. We're gonna be pulling this guy off. We're gonna be taking this guy off. Of course, we're gonna be taking this off. We're gonna unbolt this thingy thing. We need to get rid of some. Oh God, have you ever ate oil?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Buy your own oil.
The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our 10 mil, we're gonna take this one off right here, and then we're gonna take the one right off next to it so we can get that little plastic intake boot. We're gonna try to do this with no instructions, so we're gonna see if we can do this the fun way. So we're gonna take this off, let that come out, and we're gonna get down here, and this, oh God, gotta get another tool for this, so that's gonna be fun. I guess we're gonna do it the long ways. So we're gonna take this off, we will get to the,
Yo, where's the thingy at? I got her! There's actually another wrench down here somewhere I dropped.
So we take this off. Then we're gonna take these off. Are these a 10 as well? These are a 10 as well. So we're gonna take those two 10s off. We're gonna get that out of the way for now. Then we're gonna start working on these. We're gonna go get some pliers. We're gonna pop these. Then we're going to start taking this off. So we're gonna get this 10 down here. We're gonna get the 10 on the bracket. Right, that is a 10. Yes, it is. So we're gonna do that. And once we get to that step, we're gonna check in with y'all. So just get ready, sit back, go grab some coffee or some popcorn or something, or whatever you guys like to do. Who drinks coffee and popcorn? But anyways, go get some Coca-Cola and some chips. And we'll be right here when you're back.
Man, that was sealed.
That's great.
What?
That feels stripped.
No way.
And all I've been doing is loosening it. Look. Oh no, that's not coming out. I'll have to worry about that when it comes off. So we're gonna take these off. Don't know why that came stripped from the factory, but this one's very tight, so it makes me wonder about this. Good thing is we're replacing this, so we don't need to worry about it. This part's gonna be still okay. We'll get that out because it's plastic. All right. So when they're like that, I like to just grab it real quick. Do a little twist. There we go. As you see, there's no marks or anything. We're good. Nice solid boot. Take this rest of the way off. Woo! crank breather. If we can get under it with these overkill pliers. Another thing down here. We're gonna have to take that out. I was on this bracket. That's the little guy, matches the other little guy that's in there. We got this going in there, so we're gonna take that one off. Remember, with this video as a reference, this top hose is one that's going down into that intake right there. Can't really twist it in its location. Got it. There we go. We're going to take off that rubber. So we're going to go down here and clamp that. Pull up this little guy. This one's be a little tricky because it's so small. That's a long one.
It's on there.
Dude, it's stretching like an umbilical cord.
What about this plug? Think that could be in the way?
We can take it out.
Doggies.
Alright y'all, so as you can see, since we did come with the hose anyways, we decided to persuade it to just come off. We'll get this set off in a bit. Alright, next thing we gotta do is pull this intake off. Gotta get a Phillips screwdriver. I always like to just tighten these in a spot where they won't get to where you can't grab them anymore. Now, all the hoses in here are trashed. Oh yeah. Right underneath this solenoid down there, there's a 10 right down in there. Right under this. You won't even be able to see it. You barely see it through that crack. It actually does look to be a 12. What's up with Honda, bro?
They crank them.
They really do. They do the method that I do. Torque until it's tight. Down by the belts. So I'm gonna go way down in here. Not enough light in there, but you can see near the bottom of the belts here. That clamp got me. Hood prop. It's probably gonna be the hardest one to put back in, or at least one of them. So, we took off the top. We took off the bottom 12. It looks like there's gonna be something here, something over here. And the rest we will figure out once we get everything back in. But that's where that boot comes, that's where that valve goes, which we'll change out the valve once we take everything out. This is where that little dude goes. That was on the top one. So we took that out, there's two on the bottom we gotta find. Oh, there's one over here on the side. I didn't get the one on this bottom side. So that bottom corner I didn't get out. Look at it.
Dang.
The prop really got me, y'all.
It scratched you.
Look, that shit's kinda deep. It was from this. I did not just do that twice. I literally did. Put a towel over this. Or
It's out for blood.
Or wear gloves.
It's out for blood.
Fuck.
Damn.
Devin's Bloody Garage coming near you. I got that one. It's another 12 bolt. This is loose now, other than
that hose.
This hose. There we go.
What about taking that hose off? Maybe.
Oh, your head's on that.
Oh.
Alright, so we got this far.
Maybe we should just close her up and leave it like that.
I was thinking about the same. Yeah, if we pull this puppy off here, we'll definitely have a full grab at it. We're gonna grab our 3mm Allen key, we're gonna put it in here, and we're gonna loosen these little pups.
They hate us.
Alright guys, we're gonna check in with you as soon as we get all these loosened up. Remember they're 3mm. We're just doing that so we can pull this little solenoid out to get the intake off. So see you when we get the intake out. Take a look. So what we did was we actually took out this 10mm here. stretch this up to here without disconnecting the lines. We popped this up from the clip to get this out of the way. We pushed the boot far in that side, the intake boot, down to the intercooler, and we're actually able to turn this out. It ended up coming out like this. So we kind of edged it up like this and got it out just like that. So this is now our used piece here. I think there's a tad difference. Look at that difference. We're going to take this apart, take these three out, put it over. There's also a O-ring that goes with this, or I believe something that goes with it in the new kit to get us that nice gasket seat. And then of course there is a gasket for this to now go on the car. So I want to show you guys a little trick that we're going to try. It's not in the instructions for the 271. We did look because we wanted to kind of see what they wanted us to do to put it in. We're still on everything to take off. Anthony did take off the diaphragm. It's over there, so we got that off. Now, if you come back in here, he jumped the gun. I waited because I wanted to show you guys. We actually took the brackets off, the OEM brackets that were here and were here. Those were 12s, correct?
14.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
So
you grabbed a new one. Yeah, so that is a 14 millimeter. Again, that's for the bracket that was right here.
That one was a 12.
And the bracket that was right here, and that one's a 12.
This one was a 14.
So there you go. So yeah, you can tell by the thread sizing. So we did that. I then took off 3 12s that held on this heat shield here. So one on the top, one on the front, one on the side, in the back like this. I took that off, and then I took off the 2 10s in the front. I took off the 2 12s back here so that this could flop around and I could reach in here, because I undid the 4 Allens. Those are those 3 millimeter Allens. We undid those from this wastegate control. I popped off the thing. You just gotta get in here and just kind of wiggle it around and pop off this little anodized looking piece, and then you can slide this out. So we have this on ice by itself. There's no gasket or anything. It just sits in there as a housing, and this can move all back and forth. If you want that loose, don't tighten that up. We can put this aside, and I really think that's going to give us the space we need to get that in without taking any of these coolant lines off. As we already learned by mistake, coolant goes everywhere, y'all. So I'm going to try to do this without taking these coolant lines off. They do recommend taking the coolant lines off. I think what we will do though is we will loosen this one. I'm trying to do it with my hand, but I think I need a flat blade. So let me grab the flat blade. I'm going to go into this little pocket over here, pry that up just like that. That way we get full maximum flexibility out of this to kind of finagle it around. Again, we'll prop this up. I didn't mention that when we were taking the other one out. We kind of just prop this up just like this so we can slide the other one out. Nice. And what we're gonna do is, I think with removing that, we have gained enough room. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man,
to just beautifully drop that in there. Just like that, y'all. And we will see how this all comes together. I think we're gonna have to bend some of these because that's in the way already for this to attach, because that needs to still go down more and it can't because of that. But that was our hardest thing, was trying to figure out how we can get this in without taking any coolant lines off. So there's an alternative way. We will, of course, we're gonna go get a break, drink break, yeah. And we'll see if it works with our method and how hard it is. I will say it's a little tricky to get these out. You can take the intake out without removing this, which we also found that out because I didn't remove this lower one. So it's not like I changed anything here when we got that intake out. The main thing was loosening this up that made us get that intake out. Because if it's doable, I think that's gonna be the easiest way than losing coolant. Sadly, we already kind of lost coolant, so we cheated, but we'll see what we can do without. Take this out, rotate like that. So what I did is I bent this up just a tad. I bent this one out just a tad. By the way, guys, when we get that in and before we bolt it up, we're gonna want to put this thing back in place so that we can put our heat shield back on before we block that whole area. So once that's all put back together, then we can start nailing this all down with some nails. No, I'm just kidding. With the gasket on this plug here, before we start installing everything, we're actually going to take these tabs up. So I just pried them with a little flat blade under here, and that way we were able to pull this one up. And then I did the same thing under here, that way we can pull this one up. And now we're going to flip this over. We got to now take this one off. So we're going to lift this, kind of pry it just like that, get in there, push back, take this off just like that. Now we're gonna put this aside, we're not gonna need it. We're gonna be putting that heat shrink right here. Now we're also gonna be taking off this whole piece here. So on this one, we're gonna look, so we're gonna start off here, there's a little notch. The best way is gonna be to pry this, is actually pry it maybe lift it here. Let's get one in here to pry that up. There we go. So that's what I've been kind of doing. So you gotta get in there all the way. As you get that flap up, you want to pull this out. There you go, like that. Get them all halfway. I'm gonna prop this one in here like this. Try to get this one in this side. To lift that, there we go, just like that. Then we're gonna open this, nice and cautiously. Pop that out. We're gonna come over here, pop that out. We need to cut this zip tie. Cut that little zip tie right there. Pull that out, just like that. This, you can go throw it at your friends. We're gonna grab this little dude. I'm gonna come over here. The part that's straight, we want it to go straight, like this. And then this part, we want to insert it just like that. Maybe put this a little bit lower, that way the cover's in there. Just like that. And then we're gonna kind of tuck it in and cap it. Just like that. Grab this, right about here. And now we're gonna go grab our heat gun real quick. For the most part. Whee! Our little solenoid valve, I forget what it's called. But it's stripped, so it was stripped from Honda. So we have to try to unstrip it. Probably going to be pretty fun to do that. Luckily, it's probably just stripped inside the plastic and we're not using the plastic anymore. You know what it is? It's the metal, the brass insert.
Oh.
So, what we're gonna try to do
it's hot.
Holy fuck yeah. As you can see, what had happened, it is definitely locked into that brass. This thing's hot as crap right now because I had to basically melt it out of the old one. That was the only way to get it out.
So now what do we do?
So we have to vise this so we can take it off with this. So let's go into the vise. Okay guys, welcome back. We had a little dilemma with some card space. Now what we're doing is we got this puppy out. Now there was no getting out without it melting it off. And then be very careful if you have to do that, as I burned my thumb and then I touched my finger with it and it hurt really bad. So what we're doing now is we're going to take this little O-ring off, which I'm going to use one of my little flat plates for. Grabbing this, put this new one on. Wow, that's really loose. Oh, I know why they do this now.
Why?
They
It's bigger?
seal it up here now, y'all. So this, I was looking at that too, because I noticed that in this hole, that the ring was on the outside here and not the inside. So I realized that, and I was like, oh, that's gonna go in a different way. And then let me see, this is gonna go in like this. So then this is gonna go in like this. Ah, just like that. We're gonna put this screw in. We're gonna make sure that we don't over torque these like they did. Put that in that side. Remember guys, we are doing what Honda did. Now we are gonna put our diaphragm on. So we're going to put it like this. Why'd you do that? Why? Why? What was the point of that? Do you feel like you succeeded in life?
Yes.
Use this, put this there, use the 10 over that. No, I'm just kidding. Just like that. Tying this on. Remember guys, you know, we might not be the most professional, but we get the job done. And we show you how you can get it done. Wow. But I'm always up for ideas, and I'm always up for other ways that you guys can comment and say, hey, wouldn't you want to do this? Or hey, it'd be better to do this, or hey, the instructions say to do this. I completely agree with you, 100%. I am not saying that my way is the best way. You guys have seen my style of video, you guys have seen the things I've done, and that we've even done on this car. If you haven't, go take a look. But just trying to say that my way is not always the best. I'm just showing you a way that we did it and we got it done, and who knows, maybe I did something wrong. Please point out, we will fix it. I will note it. I did that once in a video with my truck gearing. I messed up on explaining it, and I went back and I fixed it. We're here to help each other. The next thing to do is put this down, throw it if you like. We need to take this little guy. There are 2 of these that come with your kits. You do not need to use both unless your car does not have this stud already chilling there. So you take this one and you are going to thread it in to this top. And they say just hand tight. So you do this and you thread her in just like that. That's it. Just like that, guys. So the 2 holes in the bottom, the far one on the side. You're gonna come down here and you're gonna place it right there. The fun part. See if we have everything aligned and everything good and
Should we put that big boy in over there?
Our booty boot? We'll put him in afterwards because this is flexible.
True.
It's gonna be a little bit tighter now that we have that flange on there. We're gonna get it in there just like that. And I'm gonna align it. Okay, so we're in there. Now remember guys, I told you, don't bolt this down yet. Because what we need to do is we need to attach the wastegate control. Also, I'm making note, check this out, we did bend this line in. For this one, they do recommend unbending this a little bit to push it out with the 2 wrenches and taking these hoses off. I, again, don't really want coolant to leak out. I just push this back a little bit, and when this is nice and mated, you can see I actually have my space now, and we're not running this into here. I am gonna push this down just a tad so that I can not, there we go, so that we're not puncturing into that hose. That we'll be able to run hoses off of this to it. And I will get, actually that's probably gonna go just literally, that's gonna go just like that. So we'll get to that part. We are now going to focus on getting our wastegate back in while we can still move this all around. So remember, don't do anything there yet. You're just gonna get this little dude. It goes in again like this and goes in like this. We're gonna feed this through, hopefully. Okay, now bring that down. Oh,
there we go.
Okay guys, that was a challenge. So we kind of put them in both at the same time. Again, could be harder than the instructions, but it's the way that we found a way to do it. Before this is all the way on, so it still needs to slide forward, we just tightened up the 2 12s in the back for the heat shield. Put on the 2 10s down here. Those still need to be tightened all the way. I just dropped this one in, so you kind of need this loose to drop this other cover in. If you do it our way, you do not have to do this way. So now I'm just putting these 12s back in. Then we're going to do this one down here. I just like to show you guys that, you know, we kind of learn things a different method, just in case you do run into situations like that. Again, not always the best ways, but ways that you can take if you also run into a problem that you do something differently. Well, let's say you skipped a step and you got happy, you can just be like, yeah, I got stuck. I will tell you guys, the hardest thing was getting those 3mm Allens in. That's the only reason I would recommend maybe doing it the other way if you can finagle this intake in there. Just cause, wow, was that fun. Slide this puppy forward, make sure our gasket is seated, which it is.
Got that bracket. Moses.
I got it. Cool. Sheesh. Okay, so there we go. We slid it on there. So we need this. Put it into this one. Like that. The way it's gonna mount. Just like that. So we're gonna insert it here, like this, and then we'll try to come out of the 12 and insert that through there. Our puppy's looking nice. Now she's still not bolted all the way down, but I did put our lines on here, so I got those going in. They're nice and attached. Then if we come over here, we got this in, and of course make sure it's W, not M. I actually installed it where it was an M, and I thought it was kind of cool, but Anthony said, no, it's a W for winning. And I was like, but it's an M for mom car. What we're gonna move on to is bolting everything down in the actual, that side there before we put our hoses on. So this is goes on our new stud. So we're gonna look down here. That's the one that goes on the top. This is gonna be tricky to get these in, especially because now that it's a stud, I can see it, but it's gonna be hard. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna prep it. So it's not a 12, I'm guessing it's a 14. So it's a 13. Now I really dropped it.
Sound like you hit the concrete.
That one really did sound like it hit the concrete, but I do not see it.
I see it.
Let's try this again. Let's go without the wrench. It's probably smarter that way. Y'all, if y'all have big fingers, rest in peace. Really? I'm annoyed.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. So we got that bolt inside there. We're gonna put the 2 long bolts in now, which I put somewhere. They're down here. Again, kids, don't vape. So we're gonna put these in where the old other 2 bolts went. So one on the bottom, one on the other side. We gotta get another nut that's in here. That nut right there is gonna go onto the other stud that's on the very bottom. Maybe we'll try to do that first. And we're gonna get these 2 puppies in as well and get them all torqued up, and I'll get right back to you guys when we get this hose on. That's what will be our next step, is just flipping that back on there, and we'll get back to you because I'm running out of camera film again. So we have a small hose and a big hose. We got all of our bolts torqued down on this thing. We had the 2 13s. There were bolts, the 13mm, what do you call that? Nut, and then the 12mm nut that's on the top side over here. Clamp this down into here, and then we'll be set up to try this thing out. It is on. We got these on, got our W facing up, and we got everything down here on. We put our boot on way down there. Sorry for the very chopped up video, but this is all nicely in now. All to do now is to start it up. We put our clip back on here that has protected the little, little wires. Everything else is really cool, connected. Got these lines on, and everything's looking really solid, guys. We're gonna clean all this up and see how she runs, or if. Okay guys, so as you can see behind me, his car is running surprisingly, and we are going to actually go and take it for a little test drive. But I thank you for watching this video and being a part of our install that went ups and downs and different ways of doing things that are also not always the right way to do things, but we showed you a way that we got it done, even though we had instructions, and we kind of looked at them a little bit just to make sure we were still doing things correctly as in the final install. So we just want to see if we can find out an easier way to do it. I'll leave that to 271, but here we were at least able to still get the job done. It looks great, and with that being all said, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks! If we pull this puppy off here, we'll definitely have a full grab at it.
I feel like you wouldn't have to take that off.
I want to take it out to get this little guy off. I think just to get it out. Oh, it's cooling. Don't take that guy off.
Oh, me.
Get him nice and secure.